Okay, so in this video, we are going to cover both crude oil and natural gas. Let me head over to the chart real quick to kind of show you number one, crude oil. We are currently in a nice sell of crude oil, and we're possibly looking for crude oil to continue dipping a little bit lower. And then when it comes to natural gas, I'm going to be giving you some levels here that you need to consider. So make sure that you stick around until the end of the video so you get all of the information. If you don't trade one or the other, you can go down below and you can look at the timestamps and you can jump in directly on the crude oil section or on the natural gas section. And before we get going, the only thing that you need to do right now, which is absolutely free, is to make sure that you hit that like button. And I truly appreciate you for doing that. And if you want more information about the VIP club and how you can trade with me daily, head over to the website, theprofessortrades.com. Take a look at the plans we have to offer. I'm going to let you start with 50% off so you can come in and see what we're all about. And you're going to get massive, massive value with live daily trading. Okay, so let's go ahead now and jump right into the chart. And we are going to start with crude oil. So I'm going to go back to a one chart basis here. Now, again, this is why being part of a healthy community that focuses on a core number of symbols is very advantageous, and crude oil is one of those symbols that we look at all the time. So again, these profit lines have already been hit. We are now currently just running some final positions as far down as we can, okay, on this particular trade. So we are going to basically start from scratch. Those of you in the trading club, as you know, you will get all of these different charts as always. And for those of you that are just at home watching for the first time, okay, let me change this to white. Okay. We began to sell at this Fibonacci level. Okay. Not only was it a Fibonacci level, it was also a level that we had identified here. So price did a nice retracement up to about that 64, 60-ish area, and we began to sell. Now, as we look here, we understand that we do have a floor sitting here at right around 61.55. And if you go down a little bit deeper, okay, for those of you that might not be yet aware, okay, we do have still this existing gap here that has not closed at right about 59 to 60, which is right about up here. There is a gap, okay, at 60 that hasn't closed, which ironically aligns with this negative 27 Fibonacci extension. So keep that in mind. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this here so I can send it out to our folks in our club as well, that there is an open gap. And I'm just going to put 60. And again, keep in mind that I am using the October futures contract. Okay. So we are definitely heading down in this direction. And we are going to kind of see what crude oil is going to do here. We will look at when crude oil arrives near this liquidity zone right here. So I do believe that we are going to go further down. Now, if we do another Fibonacci level from this low to this high, we can see here that we are coming in where crude oil likes to usually provide some type of reversal. You can see here now that we are kind of in this channel, and we did have this one outlier right here, which trapped a lot of buyers to the upside. And usually you're going to see that in a consolidation level. You're going to usually see a price movement, right? This is where the banks and the institutions jumped into buys. There weren't enough sellers yet in the market, and then they dumped price quickly. So I'm expecting possibly that same thing to happen right in this area. So we're not going to be very quick to buy crude oil down at around 61.50 or so. We're going to let price action dictate us what it may or may not do, because I do believe once we cross over 61.50, then of course we are going to target this open gap that's been open for, I don't know, maybe about a month or a month and a half. And I'm going to put that in blue. because that would ultimately be the target once we cross 61.50. So the game plan for early in the week is to remain bearish on crude oil. If we do see any price move back up, we will again continue to sell crude oil in this area until crude oil violates this area up here. And I'll make this green to stay consistent with the candles. So we would have to close above 65 to go long on crude oil one more time. Okay. So in the meantime, the outlook for crude oil is really to remain bearish at this point. I believe we're going to probably head down to 62 and change, and then we'll see what price does down here. And again, I think once we've come down once, twice, I'm not going to be 100% sold that they're going to bounce again from this level. I think we could see this exact scenario happen here. Here, we come down, close the gap, and then we look to possibly buy in this particular area down in here. So that's kind of the outlook for crude oil right now. So hopefully you got some value. And what I want to do now is jump over to natural gas so you can kind of take a look at what is happening with natural gas, because I believe there is going to be a very good buying opportunity. Now you can see right here, and my members already had this as of last week, we were looking for natural gas once we broke this level here, okay, to continue to the downside, okay, right there. Okay, so a lot of us took short positions. Again, if you're looking at the news that is scrolling down, you can see that we still have not hit the cold winter months here in the United States, where usually natural gas will have a larger demand. Plus, there was an overage of natural gas as well. But I think if you are looking at contracts in October, November, December, I think we are going to be getting into the area, okay, that you may want to start thinking about swing trading natural gas to the long side. There is also a gap that's been open here, okay, for quite a while. So I'm going to leave that here, and I'm going to go ahead and mention gap here. So again, I think we are getting to the area. So I'm waiting for price to open on Sunday, because usually we're going to have a pretty big gap. And then I'm going to look at it on Monday. But right now, we're basically trading between this channel of 3.10, and we've now come down to about 2.84. So I think if price can drop a little bit more, that would be a sweet spot to pick up some more contracts in this area. But I think as we start heading into October, November, we're going to see a demand for natural gas to increase. And I think that will drive the price back up. So look for price action around 2.80. Anything below, okay, 2.80, you definitely want to consider buying. And I'm going to move this down to the floor here, because I think this is ultimately, and I'm actually going to set an alert right here. This is actually the ideal spot, because you may want to look to see if you have a possible gap right here. So this on TradingView is looking like it may possibly have a small gap at around 2.70 or so. Now, of course, if you've used TradingView for a long time, sometimes they show gaps and they're not legitimate gaps in your broker. So you would definitely want to check that out. But the overall game plan here for natural gas is to really look for a long-term move. So I would suggest to head all the way out to the December contract, and don't worry about not so much volume. I can guarantee you that by December, natural gas is going to be much higher than where we are now. Okay. But if you're not a trader that can stomach a little volatility or long-term trades, then obviously that may not be a good fit for you. You want to try to scalp within these areas. As we get deeper into the months of November and December, then I turn into a buyer of natural gas. I've only been a seller of natural gas over the summer because demand for natural gas is much, much lower. So we've been looking for only sell opportunities. So now we are beginning to change our focus into long-term buys, because of the fact that we are going to be getting into some cooler months coming up, and there should be a higher demand for natural gas. So definitely keep up with the fundamentals of natural gas as well, so you're not left out in the dark. And this is where having a community can definitely help you. So again, if you're not yet part of our VIP community, you can head over to the website that you see on the banner. Use promo code SAVE50. You'll see it on the landing page. Pop that code in, get 50% off, and take the first 30 days for $14 or $18, depending on which monthly plan you choose, and come on in and see what we do every day. Live trading. I usually do 2 live sessions. I do one for futures and I do one for currencies. So we do trade currencies, we trade Forex, we trade the best setups available with right risk, right margin, a healthy community. Everybody's cheering you on, everyone's participating. Join the 300 plus international members. Hook up, learn from others in your space as well. We're doing stocks, we're doing ETFs. So we're really growing a super nice, healthy community. And you can find all that for $14 a month or $18 a month for your first 30 days. So come on in and try it out. Okay. So I hope you have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you and you have any questions, drop a comment below what other symbols you would like for me to analyze, so I can try to spend some extra time during the week doing those as well. Okay. And if you want to keep it simple because you're on a tight budget, you can always feel free to join the YouTube membership, which is $5 a month. And again, you can get some value there as well. Get the recordings of our live sessions when those are posted twice a week inside of that, and some analysis as well. Okay, so I'll talk to you soon. Have a phenomenal week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget to be kind to someone this week. Thanks for watching.